It's not how much you earn that decides how fast your money grows. It's how many doublings you collect and how many you keep. The rule of 72 and the rule of 114 clock those doublings and triplings in 3 seconds of mental math. But both rules assume you invest one lump sum and never add another penny. Real people invest every payday. So we're covering 5 things: what the 2 rules say, what changes when you invest monthly, whether daily or weekly beats monthly, what taxes really take, and the 3 moves that protect your money. Start with the 2 rules. Take the number 72 and divide it by your yearly return. The answer is how many years your money needs to double. At 8%, a realistic long-run average for a diversified stock portfolio, that's 9 years. The rule of 114 answers the same question for tripling. Before we run it, try a quick gut check. If doubling your money takes 9 years, how long should tripling take? Almost everyone lands on 18. Double the time for triple the money. Hold that answer because it comes back later, and it explains something most investors get wrong. The real number is 114 divided by 8, which is just over 14 years. Watch both rules work on the same $10,000. It grows to $20,000 in 9 years, then hits $30,000 about 5 years after that. Notice the second $10,000 of growth arrived faster than the first, because there was twice as much money earning it. That's the whole engine of compounding, and it keeps accelerating. There's even a rule of 144 for quadrupling, which is exactly 2 doublings back to back. Now, both of those answers assumed your $10,000 sat alone for decades with nothing added. Almost nobody invests that way. So here's where it gets real. Now watch what happens when you invest like a real person, a little from every paycheck. Say you put in $400 a month at that same 8%. If percentages are easier, that's 8% of a $60,000 salary. Look at the balance year by year. After 10 years, about $73,000. After 15, $138,000. After 20, $236,000. After 25, $380,000. And after 30 years, $596,000. That ladder scales in a straight line, so every extra $100 a month adds about $149,000 by the 30-year mark. Where do those numbers come from? One repeating formula. Start with your 8% a year and split it across 12 months. So each month your balance grows by 8% divided by 12, which is about 0.67%. Then a fresh $400 lands on top. You run it once for every month, and 30 years is 360 months. So 360 runs later, you land on $596,000. Type the same thing into any free compound interest calculator, and every number in this video checks out. Now the surprising part, put a stopwatch on that account. It crosses $50,000 in year 8, then $100,000 in year 13. That's a double in about 5 years, inside an account where the rule of 72 promised 9. Tripling behaves the same way. The balance climbs from $100,000 to $300,000 in roughly 10 years, when the rule of 114 said 14. Every double and every triple lands ahead of schedule, because your fresh deposits keep shoving the balance forward while the market compounds. So flip how you read the 2 rules. They aren't your target. They're your worst case, the slowest your money will ever move while you keep paying in. Which is why a small balance in year 5 isn't a problem. Those are the fastest doubling years you'll ever get, and the people who quit there just restart their own clock at 0. One bonus tool, if you want your own number. There's no clean rule for doubling while you contribute, but there's a close shortcut. Add your return to your yearly deposits measured as a percent of your balance, then divide 72 by that total, or 114 for tripling. Say you're sitting on $100,000, adding $4,800 a year at 8%. That's 8 plus 4.8, about 13, and 72 over 13 puts your next double roughly 5.5 years out. It's tightest when that combined number is under about 15. In the early years when your deposits dwarf the balance, it runs optimistic, but down there you barely need it, because your deposits are doing the doubling on their own. Now, does the schedule even matter? Take the same $4,800 a year and split it 3 ways. $13.15 every day, $92.31 every week, or $400 once a month. Run each for 30 years at 8%. Daily ends with $601,217. Weekly, $600,172. Monthly, $596,144. So investing every single morning for 30 years beats once a month by about $5,000 on a $600,000 account. That's under 1%, basically a rounding error. What actually costs you is waiting. Sit on your cash all year and drop it in as one December lump, and you finish near $543,000. That's $52,000 lighter because the money spent months on the sidelines before it ever went to work. So the schedule is a footnote. The headline of this part is a single date on your timeline. In your first year, you deposit $4,800 and the market adds about $180. Almost all the progress is you. Around year 10, that flips for good. The market starts adding more to your account each year than you do. That moment is called the crossover point, and it's the whole reason to survive the early years. By year 30, the market is adding $45,486 a year, 9 times what you put in. You're barely a passenger at that point. The money is driving. One caveat. The market never pays 8% on schedule. It was up about 25% in 2024 and down 37% in 2008, so that flip might come a couple of years early or late. The action step is one sentence. Invest on whatever schedule your paycheck already arrives on, put it on autopilot, and stop thinking about the calendar. Here's the catch nobody budgets for. Both rules only run on the return you actually keep after the IRS gets paid. Say you earn 8%, but your gains get taxed every year at 22%, which is how the IRS treats savings account interest and short-term trading profits. So the IRS keeps 22 cents of every dollar your money earns, and you keep 78. And 78% of an 8% return is 6.24%. That's the rate your money actually compounds at after tax. Run both rules on that number. 72 divided by 6.24 means doubling now takes 11.5 years instead of 9. And 114 divided by 6.24 means tripling takes about 18 years instead of 14. Now remember that gut check from earlier, where 18 years felt like the obvious answer for a triple, and the real answer was 14. Tax the account every single year, and your gut's wrong answer becomes exactly right. The IRS slows your money down to the speed you always assumed it moved, and taxes aren't even the biggest bite. Inflation eats at what your money can buy on top of this, but we're setting that aside here to keep the focus on tax. Now zoom out to a full career. Say you invest $100,000 at 29 and retire at 65. That's 36 years to grow. At one double every 9 years, you fit exactly 4 doubles, since 4 times 9 is 36. Watch the chain. $100,000 becomes $200,000, then $400,000, then $800,000, then $1.6 million on your last day of work. Now slow the clock to one double every 11.5 years, and only 3 doubles fit into the same 36 years. The chain stops at $800,000. That missing 4th double is the entire gap. But there's good news. That worst case is the harshest kind of tax, the kind that hits your money every single year, like a savings account or profits from trading in and out. A plain index fund that you buy and hold barely gets touched, because you only owe tax when you sell. So the real question is which account you keep that index fund in. You've really got 2 kinds of account here. A tax-sheltered one, like a 401k or an IRA, where nothing gets taxed while it grows, and a regular brokerage account, which gets no shelter at all. Inside the sheltered world, you then pick one of 2 flavors. Traditional, which gives you a tax break today and taxes your withdrawals later. Or Roth, the reverse, where you pay the tax now with money you've already earned, and then never again. This is the part most videos get wrong. If your tax rate is the same today as it is in retirement, traditional and Roth come out exactly equal, dollar for dollar. Roth only pulls ahead if you expect your tax rate to be higher later, or if you're already hitting the yearly limit, because a Roth dollar is already taxed, so it fits more real money inside that same limit. The account that actually loses is the plain brokerage, because the IRS takes a little every year, and again when you sell. Over a career, that can cost a normal saver more than $100,000 compared to keeping it sheltered. So the order is simple. Shelter your money first and leave the taxable account for last. So how do you keep more of it? 3 moves. Move number 1, take the full 401k match. Many employers match what you put into your 401k dollar for dollar up to a set percent of your salary, commonly somewhere between 3 and 6%. Say yours matches up to 4% and you earn $60,000. Contributing $2,400 a year gets another $2,400 dropped in on top. That's a 100% return the day the money lands. Nothing else in investing reliably pays that. Move number 2, fill your tax-advantaged space. In 2026, the IRS lets you put $24,500 into a 401k and another $7,500 into an IRA. That's $32,000 of room per person per year, where both rules run at full speed with 0 tax drag. And inside that space, Choose Roth or traditional with the same rule from a minute ago, based on where your tax rate is headed. The order never changes. Match first, then fill this space, and only then a plain brokerage account. Move number 3. Know the 0% bracket, because almost nobody believes it exists. In 2026, a single filer with taxable income under $49,450 or a married couple under $98,900 pays 0 federal tax on long-term capital gains. Stack the standard deduction on top, and a retired couple with no other income can sell investments with about $131,000 of profit in 1 year and owe the IRS nothing on it. Published IRS math, sitting in plain sight. It's the bracket that lets careful retirees sell winners year after year without ever writing the IRS a check. So here's the whole system. The rule of 72 and the rule of 114 tell you the slowest your money will ever double and triple, and monthly deposits mean you'll beat both clocks for decades. The schedule barely matters, so automate it and forget it. You do most of the lifting until you reach the crossover point, and strangely, on steady deposits at 8%, that point lands near year 10 whether you invest $100 a month or $1,000. A head start moves it earlier, growing deposits move it later, and the account you pick decides how much of your biggest doubling you actually keep. Tonight, run your own numbers. Your monthly deposit, your years left, and the account the money lives in. Count your doublings and your triplings after tax. If this video changed how you see your money, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who's still doing the 18-year napkin math. And here's a question worth sitting with tonight. How many doublings are left between you and retirement? And who owns the last one, you or the IRS? This is MindCraft, where ideas become action and action becomes your future.